Right, welcome out to the range. It's a beautiful day outside, but we're not going to be doing any shooting. We're going to talk about something that is highly important in your range equipment, your outdoor equipment, your personal EDC equipment, anything, anywhere you're around sharp objects and or firearms. And that is a trauma kit. Trauma kits are becoming very, very popular amongst a lot of outdoorsmen, sports enthusiasts, having to deal with firearms and so on. They are very job specific though. They are for major life-threatening trauma. They are not first aid kits. We showed you first aid kits in the last video. These kits are for, like I just said, life-threatening, major bleeding, intrusion, gunshots, etc. Things that are going to cause you to die pretty quickly. We are right now in a place that we don't have cell phone service. We are 3 miles, 4 miles from a paved road and probably about 8 miles from the nearest little town. By the time we got to a place to call 911 and called 911 and they got to us, if we had any kind of major bleed, any kind of chest injury, etc., we wouldn't need the ambulance anymore. So that is why a lot of people, not just the tactical world, are going to having trauma kits in their gear with them, etc. Again, especially if you're going to be around firearms and doing anything. Mistakes happen, folks. So we have an RTS tactical trauma kit, a My Medic trauma kit, and a North American Rescue trauma kit. We have purchased all of these. I carry them on various different types of my gear and packs and so on. Over here, if you've been in the military recently, you'll recognize this as a military first aid kit that is a combination trauma kit and first aid kit on another one of my packs. And the same thing, this was a commercially bought, it says Medic right on it, don't remember what brand, but this was commercially bought trauma kit that I've added some stuff to it. Almost all trauma kits. In fact, to be a trauma kit, I would say, and I don't have any definition per se or any say in the laws or any other damn thing. Just my personal opinion. You need a pair of shears. You need a tourniquet. You need some major bleed stop bandaging, whether that's the bleed stop gauze, the quick clot stuff, etc. An Israeli bandage, so some major pressure dressing. So for those old-time military guys, just a regular battle dressing, pressure dressing. And you need chest seals. All of these kits have those things in them. That's the one thing they do have in common. Let's start with North American Rescue. Shears. This one is designed with a very fancy pull open immediately. It's got MOLLE or belt attachments, so you can carry it however you want, on whatever gear you want. In that, I would recommend that you always carry your trauma kit on the outside of your gear or somewhere you can get to it quickly when you take your pack off or however it's going to be. So hopefully with both hands also. Now North American Rescue, because they made this one camouflage for hunting, has a bright orange tourniquet. No problem seeing this. Again, it's hunting, not tactical. Don't have to worry about the bad guys seeing you with a bright orange tourniquet on. Nitrile gloves, a little bit of tape, extra gauze, and let's see, BZK towelettes, so antibiotic type towelettes or cleansing stuff. I added some gauze, more gauze, vet wrap, more gauze, CPR shield. Behind all this are my Sam Splint vented chest seals, one for each, front and back. And that's it. Okay? Gauze for wound packing. This isn't a tutorial on how to use your trauma kit. But in short, if you need to put a tourniquet on, most of the time you need to dress major holes in your body. So you're going to pack those with a lot of, hopefully the bleed stop type gauze, etc. More cotton or more gauze on top of that. A pressure dressing on top of that. And Hopefully your bleeding has stopped with the tourniquet, wherever that is, legs or whatever. And that, in a nutshell, is how you use a trauma kit. Hopefully you aren't trying to help put chest seals on yourself, but always have a set of vented, if you can get them, chest seals. So in a nutshell, that is a trauma kit. Okay? I have the vet wrap to help hold all that stuff in place. What I am lacking in this one is a good bleed stop pressure dressing. So I've made up for it a little bit with the vet wrap, or this type of wrap right here, sorry. But again, it's hunting. There you go. I would invest in a really good pair of shears that are sharp and you've tested them out. These are okay shears, but they're not going to cut it through anything. One thing I forgot from my video today that I carry on my gear at work is a set of Leatherman, again, not a sponsor, but they're, I think, one of the best set of shears. Fold up, EMT type shears, cut through a lot of things. They've got a seat belt cutter on them, a whole bunch of stuff, but they're heavy, and I use them frequently, so that's why they're on my work gear, not on all my other backpacks that I take on various trips. The MyMedic has a different type of tourniquet. Know how to use the tourniquet you have. North American Rescue has, labeled right on it, their CAT tourniquet. I believe that stands for Combat Applied Tourniquet. So a CAT. Theirs is a little different. The nice thing about the MyMedic is when you buy one, in the package that comes with you is a QR code to how to use the equipment in the in the trauma kit. So very nice there. This one's set up a little different. This one's designed that you attach this to your gear, you rip it off of your gear, this would stay on your gear. Now you can set it down, you can take it wherever you need, you can give it to your buddy, whatever you thought you needed to do. It's also designed, you can rip it open like this, a little extra place. Now I do have bleeding control here, some super wash, a pin to mark the tourniquet when it was applied, zips, 2-pack of zips for minor type instead of stitches. They're really cool, look them up. Nasopharyngeal airway, chest seals, gauze or Z-fold gauze, and the super bandage, emergency super bandage, so a pressure dressing type of bandage right here. Again, it's a trauma kit, that's what it has. Little CPR mask shield also. So again, almost all trauma kits have the same type of equipment, they just operate a little differently from each other. So set that one up there. The last one we have to kind of review is the RTS brand one. They have their shears here on the side. One thing I don't like about their shears is, you don't need that, you take this down, but to pull the shears out takes a little bit of effort. You have to really jerk them out of there. I've used these shears. They are nice. They are sharp. They're like all other EMT type shears. They're not going to last you for decades. They're going to be used for this application, maybe some others. But you know, most trauma kits are a one-time use thing anyway. So again, this one you open up, you rip down this way. That's how it's designed. It stays on your gear. It folds open like this. Their CAT style tourniquet is on the outside in this case. You have a Siloom light. Not sure why you need that, but you do. Again, a pin to mark your tourniquet, nasopharyngeal, tape, CPR shield. There are chest seals back here. Stop the bleed. Major kit or major bandage is, it's not an Israeli, but it's the same idea. Emergency bandage, pressure dressing. Again, chest seals, and they're vented. A little bit of antibiotic stuff. One thing this doesn't have is a lot of extra gauze to shove into the hole to fill it up and help stop that bleed before you put the pressure dressing over the top. Doesn't have a lot of extra room for that kind of stuff. Does have some. Nice kit, well built. All three of these from the different manufacturers are heavy duty, well built materials. I've used them quite a bit. I've banged them around quite a bit. So any you choose here would be a good thing. This one over here I've put together. I'll slide this out of the way. EMT shears, tourniquet. This is a combination that I've put together of trauma kit and first aid kit just in a space saving. Major bandage, external bleeding gauze, more Z-fold gauze, vet wrap to hold it all down with. In this case, here is my boo-boo kit, just the band-aids and stuff like that, meds I might need, safety pins, 4x4s, a SAM splint, so this is the length of this folded out, and hidden away here in the back are the vented chest seals also, so I do have those, and that's about it. So I could use, well, I have this instead of a lot of extra gauze, so I have specific bleed stop gauze and so on. Again, this is just a boo-boo kit, but I wanted, in this case on the pack this goes on, them combined versus in two different locations. So, important takeaways of this. Know how to use a tourniquet. Practice if you can. Go take a class that is a stop the bleed class. It's a step above your normal first aid class, but it's very, very important that you apply a tourniquet in the proper manner so that it does the job. If you can carry 2 tourniquets, even better. A lot of times you need 2 to stop major bleeds on your lower extremities. Keep in mind that this is for life-saving trauma or possibly life-ending traumas, and you are trying to save your life or your buddy's life. So that's why you carry these. These are not boo-boo kits like this little thing would be. Take a class. Know how to use the tourniquet. Know how to put chest seals on. Before you all do that, make sure that you are capable of doing those things and you mentally can handle that extreme type trauma. A lot of people have saved lives with a lot of tourniquets over the decades. Tourniquets are great things. Chest seals, they've rented, all this stuff's great stuff. Anything you get from like Quick Clot here, North American Rescue, I've been very impressed with the My Medic stuff, which is all good high-end stuff and their cases are nice. I would recommend going there. RTS puts out just this trauma kit. So My Medic is a competitor in, so to speak, with North American Rescue. Their equipment's very good. I've got both here, obviously. I've used both. I've ordered from both. Go check out their websites and so on. A lot of this equipment came from the same places. You can't underestimate what you can do with a little bit of vet wrap either. So, all that to be said, go out, train, practice, know how to use your equipment so you're not trying to figure it out when the emergency happens. So you're always the best prepared for the worst case situations.